And accompanying this is slave rebellion. And it doesn't take much reading to encounter the kind of fear that existed among slaveholders of slaves, whether they had a machete or whether they had a musket. And the earliest gun control was aimed at preventing potentially rebellious black people from acquiring weapons. That's a deep, deep fear in the country. And as the historian Herbert Aptheker pointed out, between the actual founding of the United States with the Constitution and the Civil War, there were over 200 slave revolts in the South. So it's easy to understand the fear. Or if you read Jefferson, say if you read his notes on Virginia, I mean, threaded through there is this question: what are we going to do?
The same thing with literacy.
Yeah. Well, literacy. Well, they were linked in the minds of many people. When Nat Turner revolted in Virginia in 1835, I forget these dates. Now, the attitude of the governor was that this revolt took place because black preachers were secretly teaching reading and writing in Sunday school, and therefore fanning the flames of discontent. So you see, basically across the South, the teaching of reading and writing made illegal. Frederick Douglass, in his second autobiography, I believe, Frederick Douglass, the Black Abolitionist, describes how, while still enslaved, his, quote, owner's wife taught him to read and write. And the owner's wife was berated by the owner for doing so, and he quotes the owner as saying, reading and writing makes a slave dissatisfied. That's what the owner is saying to his wife. So you see, as much as you see slave revolts, you also see right across the South the secret development of schools. Hampton University in Virginia. If you went on the campus today, you'd see now an enormous oak tree that's called Emancipation Oak. And that's where a free black woman, Mary Peak, ran a secret school for slaves in Virginia. This story is, again, repeated over and over again.
Getting back to the early 1960s, you're a young man. You arrive at Jackson, Mississippi. You're an organizer, a secretary.
Not then.
You would later become that. But when you got there, when did you make the realization that maybe you should consider yourself being armed, and did you ever arm yourself?
One, I never armed myself.
But you thought about it?
I thought about it, I'd have to say, but I never armed myself, and it was because very practical considerations. Being stopped by the police and having a pistol as an outsider, a guy from Washington, would cause more problems for me than it was worth. Two, I was aware that many of the local people in the communities were protecting me. I mean, I'm living in houses that have guns. If somebody's giving me a ride because we didn't have many cars, the odds were overwhelming that person had somewhere in that car a pistol. Medgar Evers used to travel around with a rifle in the trunk of his car and a pistol on the seat. They used to tease Medgar because they said, well, what are you going to do with this rifle in the trunk of your car? If you...
And in the end, it didn't help.
And it doesn't. Look, if somebody wants to assassinate you, I don't care how many guns you have. After all, John Kennedy was assassinated. He was protected by the Secret Service. I mean, assassination, you look at the violence. It's interesting. Violence shifts after World War II. Before World War II, the kind of violence, in many instances, that blacks were confronted with, or what a professor friend of mine called spectacle lynching. Put an ad in the newspaper. This is the 1920s, my grandmother's time. You know, and say, we're going to lynch, whatever, Charlie Cobb. Snatch him from the jail and take him to the oak tree at the end of such and such a road. Y'all come. And you, in the pictures, and in their photographs, there are hundreds of photographs. You see them. The body's burning on some pile, a mutilated body hanging from a tree, and so forth. These are spectacle lynchings. Where white mobs just seized.
Unlike secret bombings.
Yeah, right. Whereas after World War II, that's exactly what you see. You see the shift. Now we're looking at assassination, secret bombings of homes, of churches, targeting civil rights activists. Because they've learned, and I think, and argued very forcefully in the book, that with all these World War II veterans, and 1.4 million black men served in World War II, mostly from the South.
And he laughed at this stuff.
These night riders learned that